All right, folks, I am giving you your last major research project of your 12th English course. I'm giving it to you now. It's going to be due in the fourth marking period, but I wanted to give it to you now so that you had the opportunity to work on it over spring break, especially if you know that you're going to have a lot going on, or maybe your attention span might be a little distracted by all the things that happen around graduation. So I wanted to give it to you early so that you could get started on it. We will do check-ins periodically when we return from spring break to just look and see where folks are at. So let me introduce this to you. The first thing is this is your final project handbook. So this slide deck acts as a workbook in addition to being the instructional piece. So you're going to make a copy of this. You're going to add your name and block to the file name as follows: your block dash last name space first initial dash what I wish I learned. And then you're going to make me an editor. The second thing you're going to do is listen. So, what I wish I had learned in school. This is the final research and publication project of my high school English career. The requirements are you need the intent of this project is to identify something you wish you had learned in your school experience, research it, and then teach others. The expectations you should have an essential question or questions that drive mastery of the information for your audience. So that's the question that your audience should be able to answer after viewing your web page, and you will be doing a web page with this. The content depends on good research to provide accurate and complete information on the subject. The information must be presented in a manner that supports the learning of the target audience, which is other high school students. You're going to your design should include images and graphics relevant to the topic. You could toss in some video also. The navigation of your web page should allow the audience to seamlessly move through the web page and access information in a thoughtful and organized manner. There is an expectation that you have a significant amount of text, so you will be doing some writing for this. The website should be free from errors, grammatical, spelling, punctuation, capitalization, etc. So you should proofread and have somebody else edit for you before you turn it in. You must cite all sources, including where you do your research, but also any images, video, or other information that you include in here. As a part of the unit, you will select a topic that you wish you knew more about. The only rule is you cannot already be an expert on the topic, so know how to play or how to hack your favorite video game because you are already the expert. You may research the coding language or other aspects of game development if you're not already an expert in that too. You will demonstrate your mastery of different ways of conducting research on the topic of your choice with this project. This is your opportunity for one last lesson, and this time you are the teacher. Think about something you want to learn more about. And then you're going to brainstorm. So you're going to list 10 things you love to do, 10 things that you're good at, 10 things that you love to learn, and 10 things that you wonder about. And then you're going to watch the video on how to make a pitch. And in No Red Ink, you're going to do a quick write that will include a response to the following. The what? What is your topic? Create an essential question or two that your audience will be able to answer after engaging with your final product. And the why. Why is this important to you or others? And then, of course, you're going to write that. There is a worksheet there or a slide to help you identify your essential question. So what do you want to know about it? What do you want? What do you already know about it? And what do you want to know about it? And then you're going to create the central question from that. The research requirements are as follows. You must have at least one of each of the following types of sources. A print source, which is a print or ebook from the school, public, or personal library. A digital source, think about that lateral reading we did with your persuasive letters. So your online resource, you must verify the source. And you will lose points if it's not considered a reliable source. And then, of course, a primary source. We did some primary source analysis. Primary sources aren't just going to be images. It might be you interview somebody who has like direct experience with whatever the topic it is. Primary sources are original materials, regardless of format. Letters, diaries, minutes, photographs, artifacts, interviews, and sound or video recordings are examples of primary sources created at a time or event. At the time or when an event is occurring. You must use MLA style to cite all sources, including the images. Document your research on the following slides. So this is a little revisit right here about citing your sources, and the little link right here will take you to the Son of Citation Machine. When you go onto their webpage to do the source citation, it'll say like book or website in the little drop down menu. But if you click on that drop down menu, it will take you to all kinds of opportunities and different types of sources, which you will need when identifying your primary source. And if you struggle to identify a primary source, see me. I'm really good at thinking of people or resources that will be helpful in that. We're not going to walk through it right now. The print source. So the print source, you guys know how to do that. If you click on this picture right here, the library, our library, it'll take you to our library card catalog. If you click on this one, it'll take you to Russ Library here in Leesburg, which is our public library. Put your notes, your citations should be put on that page. Your notes and any quotes that you might want to use should go on this slide. And then you're going to move on to evaluating digital sources. Since Jimmy Neutron isn't here to verify your sources, you're going to read this article and then you're going to take the quiz. That is a graded portion. Every one of these slides is graded, but some of them have links to quizzes. This is one of those. Then digital source options, you can go to our school library or the public library, or you might choose to go elsewhere and find it out in the World Wide Web. Again, verify your sources. So the citation is going to go there. Your notes and quotes are going to go there. And then we move on to primary sources. Read the article, take the quiz, and then think about what primary source you're going to use. So you're going to drop that in that box. You're going to cite your source using our Son of Citation Machine citation generator, notes and quotes right there. Images and graphic. Read the article. There are some free image databases available in LCPS Go. Type ImageQuest or Storyblocks in the search bar. Don't forget to cite those sources for every picture and graphic you make or you use that was created by somebody else. This is the rubric for your research process. So this is the first grade you get for this assignment. And this is your writing process grade. So you have all the things that we've covered so far. Once you're done with that, it's time to teach. So you're going to read the article, you're going to take the quiz. That's going to give you some tips on how to teach that content. And we're not going to do a instructional video. That's going to be gone by the time you see the slide deck. You're going to do a website. Okay? So I might allow the instructional video, but if you do an instructional video, I have to have a written script prior to. Okay, so we'll keep the instructional video as one of your options. So this isn't part of the writing process grade. So you either have to have a script or you've downloaded a copy of the website structure template and you have extensive notes in that. Okay, that's your pre-writing. And then you write. You're going to write your video script, write out your dialogue, text overlay, and notes on what will be represented visually. Introduce the essential question. It may be incorporated into your introduction as a statement. Impart the importance or value of what you're teaching. For the body, include the relevant information, instructions, or essential question information to respond. For the conclusion, include a wrap-up of what you have taught, the final information and additional resources, and include a text overlay of the MLA citations for your sources, because even if you choose to do a video, that the last screen, your audience should be able to see the sources that you cited. For the website rough draft, again, you need to have the essential question. It should be incorporated into your introduction statement, but impart the importance or value of what you're teaching. The body shows key facts, instructions, or information. Give your audience the opportunity to participate or practice if you can. Don't forget to include images in your final publication. The conclusion, include your conclusion, additional resources, and a reflection of the value of this information, and then wrap it up. The works cited, You can do a page on your website that has your works cited information. Make sure you do MLA citations for all sources, images, graphics, and videos. And then you've published. Okay. And here's some information on creating instructional videos.
Ever dream of becoming
Skipping that. And then the information on creating a website. We typically use Google Sites, and I prefer that you use the Google Sites for your website design. Canva is too problematic, and you'll end up having to copy and paste everything. So make sure that you use Google Sites if you're doing a website.
What's
And then there's the review. So you're going to do some peer editing on each other's work. And this is how your video and website will be graded. It's 2 pages. See that? Beautiful. All right. And that's it. Oh, and see, there's my sources for creating this, which I don't always do, but we're not going to talk about that right now. So that is the what I wish I learned in school. We will have deadlines. I will start showing those deadlines to you after spring break. I just wanted to give you access to this early so that if you needed to, you are ready to rock and roll. All right, y'all. Have a great day.